Hey everyone, my name is Carlton Herbert, and here is what I've put together for Module 3.2 for the Advanced Schematic Design. Um, the main program here is centered around Senator John McCain and a library and conference center that will be a place of civic learning and participation. It will include a museum and some archives, and it will also connect to the educational background of the area with the connection to ASU in the temporary area. And local has been transformed into an architectural representation by connecting to the geographical and historical context with natural materials and forms, and it components and creates spaces for civil discourse and improvement. The surrounding desert landscape was a very critical part of this design, with the building being kind of sunken into the earth a little bit near one of the high point in the geography of the site. I took some inspiration from cliff dwellings of the Sinagua peoples, as well as some of the ruins of the Hohokam peoples, and just trying to connect to the natural history and geography of the area. The basic structure also pays homage to some of the traditional adobe and mud structures, with a rammed earth main building envelope. And you'll be able to experience the desert from a couple different angles of the building, with some areas that are below the earth, some above the earth, and some kind of overlooking um, down the kind of small canyon that is formed there. And then as far as the structure, it's mostly a series of concrete foundations and retaining walls in order to drop the building into the earth. And then on top of that, there's a lot of rammed earth structures, some concrete columns, steel beams, and then some concrete arches precast, as well as some steel shade structures. I put together a couple of collages just to get kind of the themes and the feelings and mood of the project. Some connections here to the kind of Native American textiles, the desert landscaping, and then just a sense of local and civic legacy connection to the U.S. And then also just some forms and shapes here and kind of a sketchy collage. The themes here for the project are mainly focused on some of John McCain's themes listed there, and then just a little bit of site context and some research into the local climate. Overall, this is the context of the site here and where the building's located. And then this is kind of the final layout on the site of the building itself. Like I mentioned before, some of the precedent came from the historical and local geography, as well as the Native Americans that were on the site. The environmental bioclimatic strategies here are mostly connected to the building being sunken into the earth, with lots of skylights and some natural ventilation, and then playing off of the concrete and rammed earth, which gives a high thermal mass to the building. Some of the innovations and technology integrated here, you can see the concrete arches that support that main underground structure, as well as the system of rammed earth on top of concrete walls, and some solar panels that raised on some clerestory windows, and then shade structures applied to some tall windows as well. And then here's more of the structural components: precast concrete arches, steel shade structures, curtain wall glazing systems, some cast hollow core concrete floors, and structural steel wide flange beams, um, that make up the main horizontal system. Is the basic programming of the site, which consists of admin offices, museum, excuse me, learning spaces, conference center, library research center, and service entry and archives. And then just another look at how that building sits on the site there. A couple elevations, give you some perspective, and then some sections as well. This gives you just kind of a cross section through the entire building for the longitudinal axis, and then a little bit of the perpendicular axis here, giving a look into that conference center area and kind of museum and stuff that'll happen above. Here's a more dedicated look at that conference center that kind of overhangs into that canyon area. And then a couple detailed sections into that library and into that museum and some of the learning spaces below. And then a perspective section here, just kind of taken at an angle so you can get a look at a good portion of that section of the building. And then the main site here, and then each of the individual plans. So you can see here, there's some programming for the library and research center, and it's broken up into a few more detailed areas, as well as the archives on the left, and then the conference center and learning spaces on the right. And then at the ground level, this is where the museum and outdoor covered spaces happen, as well as the administration offices on the left-hand side. And then on the roof, I've got these solar arrays here to generate a little bit of electricity for the building. And they integrate some clear story windows as well for some natural daylight. And then just a couple of views around the building from the site. And then these exterior perspectives to give you a sense of scale for the exterior there, looking into some of those surrounding areas, and then also some interior perspectives of the office space, the museum, and then down in the library and the research area. So ultimately, I think that this building conveys a sense of the local climate and local architectural environment, and it pays homage to some of the historical and geographical areas that are nearby, and conveys a sense of civic legacy as a dedication to the life of John McCain. So thanks for taking a look.